Hi, welcome to Think Human. I'm Chris, and in this video I want to talk about some basics of body language. So I'm quite an observant person when it comes to human interactions, and there are just some things that you sort of pick out and figure out when interacting with other human beings. So here is just some basic things that I've been thinking about recently. So there is one huge category that sort of goes split in the middle of human beings, and this would be the positive and the negative side. So essentially, you looking at me, it's the worst, but the way that you're used to looking at humans, it's quite normal, exactly the way as you would see this from any other person. Essentially, it is when something positive happens, then there is this positive reaction from you or any other normal human being functioning. Then it would be that if it's something positive, your reaction would be on the right side of your body. So either it's you tell me some good news. Oh, that lottery ticket I actually won, like $10 and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And this is like this, like you have some kind of impulse to like scratch the right side of your face for some reason, because this is what happens. If it's something that maybe makes you think a little bit more, then you might do it like this, but also it's going from left to right. So it's like, okay, like this kind of thing. When it's something that's like accurate or something like that, I'm really wording it really loosely, but when it's something that's like more on point or something like that, that maybe is a bit more serious, then it might be something on the nose, something like that. Like there is someone you thought is a bad person or something, but then they say something positive to you, and then you have a bit of relief, which is a positive emotion. Then you're like, oh, okay, you're not an asshole. Okay, that's good to know. So same thing, it would apply on the left side of the body then. And some negative news that's like, really bad, you don't really want to hear it happening, then you sort of want to wipe it off your face. It's like, oh, okay, or it might be like really simple, like, but just sort of, this is interesting, like this communication between human beings, like I noticed how these things kind of arise when you really pay attention to it. When social interaction is happening, you're not thinking about, oh, I'm gonna do this now. What happens is you feel a kind of an itch, and then you're like, you get rid of that itch. It's interesting. Or like you can do like this, or like it's interesting because it's not conscious, it's unconscious, unless you become aware of it consciously. But same thing would apply on the left side of the body. So you can have these kind of things, or these kind of things, or like these kind of things. Also, when people somehow feel threatened, then it might be things like this, protecting their neck. That's kind of basic thing. One mistake that I see so much people making, never do this when you're around people, is getting your arms crossed. That's the worst thing you can do. It's like pointless. You're putting a blockade between you and other people, and it's so see-through. Even if people don't consciously recognize that this is a defensive move, every person unconsciously understand that this is a defensive move. Now, body language isn't ever 100%. There are always exceptions to things. So you have to sort of put it into context and look at it all together. You can't, if someone does something like this, then you can't be, oh, okay, this was 100% a positive reaction, because humans are so different, people react differently, it can always vary, but this is kind of really general rules about this. Also, some other simple things, when people are, for example, making something up, or they're creating something in their heads, then they look to the left side. Usually they're like, I'm thinking about this question, something like that. If they're thinking about something that they're remembering, then they're like, oh yeah, the place I went to last night, yeah, that was kind of cool, it's on the right side. Also on the nose, it was like something that you expected to happen. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, I knew that would happen. Also something negative, if you don't like what you're seeing or don't like what you're hearing, then you might do it like this, like wipe on the left side. It's always interesting if it's not like one single movement, if it's a continuous movement, then it shows a kind of change from either positive to negative or negative to positive. So this would be negative to positive, like from left side to the right side, and this would be positive to the negative, like whatever way it might be. It might be like this, or it might be like this, doesn't really matter, but what matters is the general movement, how it goes. Also something, when you're rubbing your arms, you can't maybe see it from here, but like when you're rubbing maybe your left hand, then it's something maybe uncomfortable, unpleasant for you, that people sometimes might do. If you're excited about something, or you want something to happen and you're looking forward to it, maybe it's your turn to perform next on whatever is happening, and then you're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go, I want to go, or, stuff like that. Also, when something is happening, same way it can be with eyes. If something positive happens but you didn't sort of expect it to happen, you can be like this, like, wow, okay, I didn't think this was gonna happen, in a positive way, kind of. And same way with negative side, whoa, I didn't think this was happening, really, you know. So yeah, basically, I guess this is just some of my thoughts. There's like a lot to talk about here, and it's such a vast subject. You know, there's so much to talk about, but this is just some simple thoughts on it. I hope you got maybe some new ideas. So yeah, if you have ideas, please leave them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.